Everybody, welcome to the second episode of Tavern Talk. We've got some good RPG news this time, and I don't want to waste any of it. Let's go. First up, a new trailer for Gothic dropped a couple days ago, and if you're not aware, it's a full remake of the original 2001 classic by Piranha Bytes. Incidentally, THQ purchased that studio, but they aren't developing this remake. And while that's usually cause for concern, in this instance, I'm glad. Because let's face it, Piranha Bytes is not known for their amazing combat system and superior controls. Have you guys tried playing Elix 1 and 2? It's all foam and no beer, trust me. There is no release date for this, but it is being developed for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And if we can get an amazing soundtrack, some really great voice acting, and a decent combat system to go along with the visuals that we're seeing in this trailer, well, you may as well start oiling up that penny whistle. Now you guys know me, man, I'm not really a fan of the old pew 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 games, but this one here has actually caught my eye. Jagged Alliance 3. There's no release date info out there yet, and it's also only being devved for the PC. The Jagged Alliance website says you can recruit from a huge cast of unique mercenaries. You can loot, salvage, and customize an arsenal of weaponry and equipment for your mercenaries. And they state that the world of Grand Chen is an open RPG structure. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it's probably just some developer waffle that translates to there being some different endings based on a couple choices that you make throughout your playthrough. And you will be able to experience the entire campaign in an online co-op mode with your mates. But there's no PowerPoint Rangers or members of the Chair Force here. It's SEAL Team 6 or Delta Force minimum. So choose your friends wisely. You don't want that guy that just charges in willy-nilly, putting the entire mission in jeopardy, or the guy that's always 5 knuckles deep into the enemy's pockets while the rest of you are barely clinging to life, engaged in the greatest firefight of all time. Now this week we're going to throw in something a little different. I'm going to call it the salty segment, and it's going to be about Forspoken. Now you guys know that this game from the very first trailer rubbed me the wrong way. Visually, I just don't like seeing a main character in the game look like Susan from Walmart or Timmy from the dairy. Generally speaking, the average person just looks uninteresting. And when you combine that with the Josh Whedon-esque dialogue that's in Square Enix's latest trailer, my hype factor is now lower than a flat earther's IQ. I cannot stand self-aware characters in video games unless the humor is done exactly right. And there's a very fine line with having a character narrate what they see and deliver that in just the right tone. It has to be a perfect symphony of voice actor and writing. A great example of this is Ichiban Kasuga from Yakuza Like a Dragon. But unfortunately, based on what we've seen so far, Frey Holland is definitely no Ichiban. The delivery is off and the writing is just cringe. I hope that this is just like a one-off trailer and the game isn't like that, because it looks amazing and I really would like to play it, but there's absolutely no way I'll be able to handle listening to Susan talk about her day at Walmart while I'm slaughtering dragons with magic. Anyway, that's enough salt. Genshin Impact version 3.0 is launching on August the 24th. The Morn 1000 Roses brings. It's available on PC, PS4, PlayStation 5, iOS and Android of course. It's adding an entire new nation of Sumeru, and of course makes the Dendro element playable, which also opens up a whole new slew of elemental chain reactions. New characters include Dendro bow user Tainari, Dendro bow user Kole, and Electro Claymore wielder Dory. Now only one of them has a chance of being in my team, but I'll let you guys argue about who that is in the comments below. First person to get it right gets a nice slick oily handshake. A quick piece of news, Guild Wars 2 is heading to Steam on August the 23rd. Guild Wars is one of the only MMORPGs that I played for hundreds of hours back when it released. It's buy to play, so there are no monthly subscriptions, and there will also be a single bundle that contains the main game, Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, and End of Dragons expansions for $100. I can't believe that on August 28th, this game will be 10 years old. Mind blowing. Another little tidbit of news, if you're not aware, the Diofield Chronicle demo is actually available right now. You can play it. It's available on PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and Steam. It's everywhere. And if you're wondering how the game plays, it's somewhere between Fire Emblem and Mountain Blade. Loose translation, awesome. Lastly, we got some news for a game that is very near and dear to my heart. Unfortunately, I've only spent several thousand hours playing this game. Not enough. It's the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Now, I made a couple phone calls to Pappy Todd, and he told me directly that Skyrim will now be playable on dishwashers, air conditioners, and frying pans. Seriously though, a new mod is released for Skyrim that's gonna get you to reinstall it. It pretty much emulates the Nemesis system from the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games. So picture this. You get crushed by an enemy in the game. That enemy now has a unique name, increased stats, a special buff, and you have a random debuff upon defeat. Not only that, but let's say the bandit that beat you had some crappy armor and yours was a lot better. You will respawn without your gear, and that bandit will be wearing the armor that you had, and maybe even wielding your weapon. The mod also motivates the player to actually hunt down your nemesis so you can get back your gear and you'll be awarded with a buff. I won't go into too many details about the buffs and debuffs, but there are a lot and they pertain to exactly how you died. I can't imagine that there's anybody out there that actually hasn't played Skyrim by now, but if that's you, you need to be comfortable knowing that you're a weirdo. It's time. Download it, spend hours in character create coming up with an amazing backstory for a unique character, and then end up creating a generic sneak archer anyway. You know that sounds like fun. Anyway, that's about it for this week. Once again, I want to thank all of my patrons and everybody who's coming through to the stream, and especially the members and everybody who's been gifting out new memberships. Everything that you guys do, right down to liking this video, helps so much. Absolute legends. See you on the next one.